Hello, everyone, and welcome to Celebrity Talk Show. If you watched Mercedes and Leon's story on YouTube, you already understand that Black women are 3 times more likely to die from a pregnancy-related cause than women of any other ethnicity in the United States. And more than 80% of pregnancy-related deaths are preventable. That means this isn't inevitable. It's fixable. And today, I'm going to give you the steps you can use to protect your life. This Patreon episode is different. This is not the storytelling episode. This is the protection and prevention episode. This is me taking everything that story represents, the dismissal, the bias, the risk, and turning it into real steps you can use to advocate for yourself, to prepare, and to recognize when it's time to escalate. And I also want to say this clearly. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is education. If you are in danger or something feels wrong, please seek urgent care immediately. And if you're pregnant or postpartum, always say, I'm pregnant or I gave birth within the last year. So let's name the reality without softening it. The CDC has been clear. Black women are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes. This is not about biology. This is not about pain tolerance. This is not about Black women are strong. This is about being ignored, dismissed, and not treated urgently enough inside systems that are supposed to protect mothers. And another critical truth, risk doesn't end at delivery. There are urgent warning signs that can show up during pregnancy and up to a year postpartum. So today, we're going to talk about pregnancy, labor, delivery, and postpartum because all of it matters. So here's the goal of this episode. By the end, you will have a birth advocacy plan, even if you're not pregnant yet, a clear understanding of how to choose an advocate, exact phrases to use to escalate care, guidance for when to switch providers or hospitals, and a checklist of warning signs you should never ignore. So let's dive right in with part A, before labor and how to set yourself up. Step 1, choose the right provider and interview them. I want to start here because most people don't realize you are allowed to interview your provider. And if a provider makes you feel rushed, dismissed, or small, that's not a personality quirk. That's a red flag. Here are questions to ask at your prenatal appointment. And yes, I'm going to give you the exact word. Say things like, if I say I feel like something is wrong, what is your process for evaluating that? How do you handle situations where a patient feels dismissed or unheard? If I ask for a second opinion inside the practice or hospital, what does that look like? What hospital or hospitals do you deliver at? And what level of maternal care do they have? If an emergency happens, who is physically in-house and how fast can you respond? And here's the part most people skip. Notice how they answer. Not just what they say, but how they say it. Do they welcome questions? Or do they suddenly punish you for asking? Because childbirth is not the time to discover your provider doesn't listen. Step 2, plan for a strong birth advocate. Now let's talk about the advocate because this can literally save your life. The Joint Commission, one of the most recognized healthcare safety organizations, explicitly says patients have rights, including being listened to, being treated with respect, and having a patient advocate with you. Your advocate can be your partner, your mom, a close friend, a doula, or a combination. But not everyone is built for advocacy. So here's how to choose the right advocate. Your advocate must be someone who stays calm under pressure, can speak firmly without getting emotional, is willing to be the bad guy if needed, will not be intimidated by titles or uniforms, and can repeat themselves without backing down. Your advocate should not be someone who freezes in conflict, is afraid of being rude, avoids confrontation at all costs, or needs you to comfort them when you're in pain. And if you can, consider a doula. A large Cochrane review of over 15,000 women found that continuous support during childbirth was associated with better outcomes, including a lower likelihood of cesarean births and more spontaneous vaginal births. I'm not saying a doula prevents everything. I'm saying continuous support matters. So here's the advocate assignment. Before labor, assign roles. Advocate number 1 speaks to the staff, asks questions, and escalates if needed. Advocate number 2 stays close to you, tracks your symptoms, and records key details. Yes, record details. Not to be dramatic, to be protected. Step 3, create your escalation script. This is your if I'm ignored script. Practice these lines out loud and save them in your notes app or print them. Escalation line number 1. I'm concerned. I need you to document in my chart that I reported this symptom and what your response is. Escalation line number 2. I want the charge nurse, please. Escalation line number 3. I want a patient advocate or patient representative. The Joint Commission literally advises asking to speak to a patient representative when you believe something is wrong. Escalation line number 4. If I can't get help here, we are going to another hospital. And listen, you don't have to say these lines with fear. You say them with clarity, because clarity signals we're paying attention. Part B, during labor and what to do in the moment. It's very important to know the urgent maternal warning signs. This part is not optional. The ACOG and the CDC both list urgent maternal warning signs as symptoms where you need help right away. I'm going to name a few in plain language. A severe headache that won't go away, chest pain or trouble breathing, heavy bleeding or fluid leaking postpartum or during pregnancy, vision changes, severe belly pain, swelling in the face or hands, dizziness or fainting, overwhelming fatigue that feels alarming, or fever. If you have these symptoms and you're dismissed, your advocate should say, "We need an urgent evaluation. This is an urgent maternal warning sign." And if you end up in urgent care or the ER postpartum, always say, "I gave birth within the last year."
This is where the truth comes out.